Lanka expresses its displeasure over the designation of the Sri Lankan Army commander by the United States. Eastern Container Terminal agreement with India and Japan resurfaces. Signs of a reduction in the price of fuel over the coming weeks. Chairman of the National Elections Commission says laws should be implemented to regulate funds received by political parties. Indigenous leader of Ratugala attacked after opposing a sand mining racket carried out in the Rambakan Oya.
Good evening and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's start off with the news bulletin for the day. The government today officially responded to the travel ban imposed by the US on Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva. The stance had been conveyed during a meeting with the US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Elena B. Teplitz, at the Ministry of Foreign Relations.
Foreign Relations Minister Dinesh Gunawardena informed the US Ambassador that the decisions taken based on unverified sources should be reviewed. We believe that the ban imposed on Shavendra Silva and his family was not an action undertaken based on reasonable grounds. The US Ambassador told us that she would inform the US Department of State to revoke the decision. A team from the US Congress will arrive tomorrow. We hope to discuss this matter with them as well. Issuing a media release, the Ministry of Foreign Relations said it is disappointing that a foreign government should question the prerogative of a democratically elected president to call upon persons of proven expertise to hold key positions on national security related matters. It adds that the minister said this action unnecessarily complicates the US-Sri Lanka relationship. The release further states, on coming to learn that the designation was not based on independently verified information but on the much disputed OISL report of 2015, the minister requested the United States to verify the authenticity of the sources of information. It adds that it was recalled that this report made clear that it was a, quote, a human rights investigation and not a criminal investigation, and that, quote, the names provided in the description of the chain of command do not imply criminal responsibility for those particularly alleged violations listed in this report, either as direct responsibility or under command or superior responsibility. The ministry says individual criminal responsibility can only be determined by a court of law with all necessary due process guaranteed. We view this as a matter which has drawn the criticism of the Buddhists and those not belonging to the Buddhist faith. He is an army commander who functioned irrespective of any religious differences by working cordially and winning the hearts of many individuals. Therefore, we do not approve the imposition of such a ban on him. We also mentioned this during talks with the US Ambassador as well. Within a few days, they might bar Gotabaya Rajapaksa, his wife or children from entering the US. Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva stayed in the US after the war. Were these people blind, deaf, and did they not understand this matter? Extremists who are a harm to this country are the jobless individuals who are telling such tales in this country. They travel to Europe and to countries such as the US and UK and ask them to ban the country if possible. Our parties are not important in the face of a problem concerning our country. We strongly condemn this decision taken by the US. The US does not have a moral right to do so. This is because the travel ban has been imposed on Sri Lanka's army commander and not on Shavendra Silva. As citizens of this country, we strongly oppose the US. We are not afraid to say that because we are not fake patriots. Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva and the other soldiers acted to safeguard the rights of this country's people. The government has a responsibility to intervene into this problem and protect our soldiers. Those opposing terrorism are curious to know if the ban on Sri Lanka's army commander is true. Is the US against terrorism? The people who respect democracy are wondering if the US is building terrorism.
This government is totally against the MCC agreement. I remember that Vimal Veeravansa said that the agreement should be torn. If the government is really against the MCC agreement, this is a good opportunity. Now that a ban has been imposed on the army commander, the government, through their representatives, can inform the US that they oppose the agreement. This is what diplomats should do.
Now, while there is foreign intervention with regard to Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva, there are discussions of another possible foreign intervention. This is with regards to the East Container Terminal of the Colombo port.
On Today newspaper, quoting a government official, reported that Sri Lanka, Japan and India have decided to collectively develop the East Container Terminal at the Colombo port as their previously signed agreement. The trade unions attached to the Sri Lanka port convened a press briefing regarding this.
Do not let them privatize the East Container Terminal. If the Sri Lanka Ports Authority loses this and the income this generates, then the JCT will be affected. The JCT earns 75% of the income of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority. We asked the officials of the Indian High Commission and the Japanese Embassy to give up the idea of acquiring the East Container Terminal. If not, we as the trade unions will surround your respective embassies in protest.
තානාපති කාර්යාල වට කරන්නත් අපි වෘත්තීය සමිති එක්කහුව වෙලා ඉදිරි දිනයකදී එනවයි.
When information regarding the project came to light last year, Newsfirst continuously reported on the importance of the East Container Terminal, encouraged public debate and urged the stakeholders to lay the facts before the people. The ECT is an important location in the Indian Ocean maritime route. This is also the deepest terminal at the port. The Sri Lanka Ports Authority has completed a 440-meter single berth, the first phase of the ECT development plan to cater the shortfall in the capacity of container handling in the port of Colombo. The cabinet paper in this regard was presented on the 28th of May 2019.
When Arjuna Ranatunga was the subject minister, there was a cabinet paper to hold the ECT with the SLPA and carry out activities in a way that would benefit the economy. The cabinet rejected it. When the cabinet is trying to hand this over to India and Japan, everyone is raising their hands.
On the 27th of May 2019, the Sri Lanka Ports Authority elaborated on the Memorandum of Cooperation. As per the suggested shareholding, the Sri Lanka Ports Authority was to hold 51%, while 49% was to be held by India and China.
This has been constructed. All that is left is to bring down the gantries and commence the operations. What is Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Mahinda Rajapaksa, who came to power claiming that the operations will commence, doing and saying now? They have gone to India and said, continue the activities as per the agreement that you reached with Ranil Wickremesinghe. This is the only terminal that belongs to us. This is probably the only terminal at the port that the SLPA will be able to earn profits from in the future. They are now planning to give this away. Is this why you received the mandate? Is this why you are asking for a majority?
Chandasri Mahagamage, General Secretary of the All Ceylon Port General Workers Union, filed a fundamental rights petition regarding the MOC on the 28th of June 2019. The case is to be taken up on the 11th of March this year.
We spoke about this with the new officials. The chairman said there will be action regarding the ECT. They should provide a responsible statement as to how this will be done. We will continue the legal procedures that have been initiated in this regard.
Newsfirst continuously reported on Sri Lanka losing the grip on economically strategic locations in the country. Will the East Container Terminal also face the same fate as the Hambantota Port, the Palali Airport and the land adjacent to the Shangri-La Hotel at Galle Face?
There are four main points making the rounds within the UNP: the working committee, the alliance, the symbol and the heart. What will happen in the coming few weeks?
I would like to state this to all of you. The opposition leader and the leader of the party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, will hold discussions and decide on whether we will contest the upcoming election under the symbol of the swan or the elephant. We will then create awareness on this matter in the grassroots of the country, and then Sajith Premadasa will become the Prime Minister of our country. This issue was solved last night. By Monday or so, an official statement will be issued and an alliance headed by the UNP will be formed, and thereafter a government will be formed. It has been established that the leadership required to win can only be given by Sajith. Sajith's name is being mentioned even when asked about the party. The people's hope is that the party would be Sajith's and the symbol would be Sajith's as well. I don't think a division will occur any further. With the approval of the Central Working Committee, everything will turn out for the better. Most probably the election would be contested under the symbol of the swan. A discussion was held on Friday at the party office. According to what Ranjit Madhuba Bandara and Ravi Karunanayaka said to the media, it had ended on a positive note. We will unite all other parties in the alliance and contest the election under one symbol. We will create a broad democratic alliance and contest the election. There are no issues. The symbol is the swan. Not only the UNP, many other parties will join us. The issues within our party is being talked about. There are many issues within the SLPP and the SLFP. They still have not resolved those issues. The issues centering the UNP and its alliance have been solved. The only issue is regarding the symbol. The decision to contest together has been made. Whatever the symbol is, the elephant or the swan, we will make sure we send this government home.
MP Manushananakara says their opponents are facing more issues than them. The discussions between the SLPP and SLFP has become a tug of war.
They spread rumours. Now there's no problem on our side. There is an issue within the opposition.
Some people ask under what symbol we are contesting. We will compete under the symbol that you are expecting. We want 2 elections under the flower bud. We will definitely win the 3rd election under the flower bud. If someone is giving opinions on SLPP, don't forget that it is definitely the people who have deals with the UNP. We are members of Viatmaga as well as the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. We are confident that several intellectuals will get nominations from the SLPP in the upcoming general election. The so-called division is an artificial one. Realistically, there is no such division. Especially in the presidential election, we came to a certain understanding. The bond between the SLPP and the SLFP will never be broken. Also, there are issues regarding the promises made. We can always solve those through discussions. Getting a 2/3 majority in the next parliamentary election is our hope. That means 150 seats out of 225. We need to increase our number by 23 seats. Showing our biggest strength in the presidential election, we got only 127 seats. We will never be able to reach our target if we don't strengthen our main forces who joined us during the triumph at the presidential election. As a major political party, our party is Pohottua, so we should contest under the flower bud. I would like to clearly emphasize that the ones who say they cannot contest under the flower bud are not fond of the SLPP.
Now, certain issues surrounding the symbol of the hand of the SLFP, former president explained his plans.
Some of them are asking why I am returning to parliament after the presidential election. When our party's parliamentary group asked me to contest, I asked if I should come back. The answer given to me was, if Mahinda Rajapaksa can come back, why can't you come back to parliament? Everyone said that there is a problem with Polonnaruwa and asked who is going to be in charge of the city. Some said to contest from the district I am from. Our party seniors said not to contest but to come through the national list. There was no problem whatsoever. I could have gone. You can come and speak about this, but I am of the stance that it is degrading to come in as a national list MP after becoming president. Therefore, I will contest in the election and come to Polonnaruwa. I trust the people of Polonnaruwa.
Meanwhile, the registration of new political parties for the year 2020 ends at midnight tomorrow. Chairman of the National Elections Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, expressed the following views to News First regarding the preparation of the forthcoming general election.
දේශපාලන පක්ෂ මේ කාල සීමාවේ ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන් ද කොහොමද ඒ තත්ත්වය?
දැනට අපි ගාව There are 70 accepted political parties. We consider 64 of them as inactive. By now we have received 74 applications. There are applications to form an alliance between registered and non-registered parties too. We will take the relevant steps following an interview.
ඒවා පිළිගැනීමට ලක් කරන්න. එතකොට පවත්නා පක්ෂයක ලාංඡනයක් සන්ධානය වෙනුවෙන් භාවිතා කිරීමේ හැකියාවක්.
If a party called X drops its symbol, then party Y or alliance P can use the symbol.
පිළිගත් එකකට ඒක ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්.
පක්ෂයේ අනුමැතිය ඇතිව
නෑ නෑ අරගොල්ලෝ අතාරින්න ඕනේ.
මැතිවරණ කාලයේදී අපේක්ෂකයින් වියදම් කරන මුදල් සම්බන්ධයෙන් මේවා නිසි ලෙස ගණනය කිරීමක් සිද්ධ වෙනවද? එහෙම නැත්නම්
ඡන්ද ව්‍යාපාර
There must be laws regarding campaign financing. Government, the cabinet has approved the laws. All political parties too have expressed agreement. However, it takes time to prepare laws in our country. Changing an electoral system is a big task, but we cannot please everyone.
සියලු දෙනාම සතුටු කරන්න නම් අයිස්ක්‍රීම් විකුණන්න ඕනේ.
අපි දැක්කා පහුගිය කාලේ පාලන මැතිවරණයට එහෙම මේ අලුත් මැතිවරණ ක්‍රමයකින් එද්දී මේ මැතිවරණේ ප්‍රමාද වුණේ මේ දේවල් කරපු හින්දා කියලා.
පළාත් සභා ඡන්ද විසීම
The provincial council election has gone missing. 60% of the country's expenses are being controlled by 9 people. No one is questioning them. They are the governors. There are no public representatives. This is completely wrong. It is a violation of fundamental rights. No one is talking about it. They are saying that provincial councils are white elephants. If it is unnecessary, it must be dropped from the constitution.
නැත්තම් ඒක ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවෙන් අයින් කරන්න.
දැන් ඔබතුමා කිව්ව විදිහට ඒ අයිතිය වෙනුවෙන් ඔබතුමා පෞද්ගලිකව හරි නඩුමකට යන්න සූදානම්ද?
පෞද්ගලිකව යන්න බෑනේ කොමිසමේ සභාපති හැටියට. ඒක තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. කවදා හරි යන්න ඕනේ.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has highlighted the importance of extending the Marine Drive Road until Panadura. Newsfirst Hassan Shazuli filed this report.
What you see right behind me is the Marine Drive. Now, how convenient would it be to travel along this road, which runs from Kollipitiya to Welawatha, if this is extended until Panadura? Now, as we file this report, discussions are underway with regard to the extension.
Issuing a statement, the President's media division stated that the President had made these remarks during a meeting with officials of the Ministry of Roads and Highways this week. During the discussion, President Rajapaksa had instructed officials to obtain the assistance of local engineers in all construction activities. Kamal Amaravira, the Director General of the Road Development Authority, expressed the following views to Newsfirst.
Marine Drive extension we have now done up to Dehiwala, and that from Dehiwala to Panadura, now we have designed that given the feasibility study to the University of Kumaratunga. They will do the feasibility study based on the proposed trace given by us. And after the feasibility study is received, that we will go ahead with the work.
With the general elections not too far away, we are left with two questions. Will this project be a reality, or will it just be a project that is proposed in the run-up to the elections? Only time will tell. Hassan Shazuli reporting for News First.
Also, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa engaged in an inspection tour around the Colombo port city this afternoon. This project is being implemented under a tripartite agreement between the Ministry of Urban Development Authority and China Communications Construction Company Limited. The construction of buildings on the port city land is expected to end by the first half of this year, while the entire project is expected to end in 2023. The cost, which is expected to be incurred by China Communications Construction Company Limited for the project, is $1.4 billion. The President's media division said that $15 million would be spent for the construction of a building complex. Meanwhile, according to data indicated from the world market, the price of a barrel of crude oil has decreased by $7.
In the US market, the current price of a crude oil barrel is at $52.05, while the price of a barrel of Brent crude oil is at $57.32. Owing to the tensions in the Middle Eastern region, since the 6th of January 2020, the price of a barrel of crude oil in the American market was stated as $63.27, while the price of a barrel of Brent crude oil stood at $68.24. Accordingly, when analyzing the prices of the world market, it is evident that the price of crude oil in the world market has returned to normalcy. Since the time we were in power until now, the price of a barrel of crude oil has reduced by $14, At present, they have increased the price of oil by 12 rupees. They can easily take into account the reduction in price in the international market and reduce the price by 12 rupees. They are not doing that. There is a slight reduction in the price of oil. We believe that occurred as a result of the coronavirus issue in China. We sold diesel at a loss of 12 rupees. If this situation continues, we are prepared to reduce the price of fuel. The President and the Prime Minister have directed their attention towards it. When we introduced the pricing formula, they said it was useless. What is their pricing formula? They have a pricing formula. That is the formula of scamming. They are not willing to pass on the reduction in price of oil in the global market to the people. If there was a pricing formula in place, it would have reduced by around 2 rupees. That too would have happened after increasing it by 12 rupees in the previous month. We do not need a formula. We will pass on the advantage to the people.
An event to celebrate the 32nd commemoration of late Vijaya Kumaratunga was held in Negombo today.
The event was attended by former President Sandika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga and many artists.
This country is in need of politicians like Vijaya. We are in need of politicians like Vijaya who are honest, who do not make money from politics and who are willing to defend their ideas to their death. People of the caliber are not to be found in the present parliament now.
Another function was organized by the Jatika Mahajana Sahurda Sansadaya in Colombo for the 32nd commemoration of the late Vijaya Kumaratunga.
People who are mindful of what is happening in the country are still searching for a leader like Vijaya. Therefore, it has become a dream. Vijaya Kumaratunga has become a dream in the far horizon. On this day which we celebrate Vijaya, I wish for nothing but someone like him to be born again in our country. Also, I wish for an honest, upright young leader for this country.
Currently, drug prevalence, drug-related offences and drug-related offenders who are arrested by law enforcement agencies are increasing.
The number of cases relating to heroin has increased by 64% when compared to last year. This is a national tragedy. It has become a huge challenge as it affects the entire society.
According to a report by the Research Division of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board, 4,469 people were arrested for drug-related offences during November and December in 2019. Among those arrested, 2,036 people were arrested in November and 2,433 were arrested in December. A 19% increase was reported in December with compared to November in 2019. It is important to note that the specific number of narcotic substance users, small-scale dealers and large-scale narcotic substance importers have not been identified. However, authenticity of the numbers mentioned are questionable as these are only reported convictions.
Young people can help decrease multi-generational poverty and can contribute effectively to the preservation and strengthening of their communities. The youth of a country determine the future of a nation. According to the National Dangerous Drug Control Board, unfortunately, 60% of the arrested people in December were in the age category 20 to 34.
But according to the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board, unfortunately, 60% of arrested people in December belong to the 20 to 34 age category.
Drug-related arrests are taking place every single day. Let us all work towards eradicating the drug menace in the country.
Meanwhile, residents of Udawalawe are calling on authorities to construct a drain instead of fences to prevent wild elephants from entering the Colombo-Mondragal main road. Residents claim that wild elephants enter the road after destroying the fence which had been set up on the border of the forest near the Udawalawe main road. The people have suggested two alternatives to prevent the loss of lives due to this issue. Under the first phase, the scrub forests on the side of the fence is being cleared. The scrubs forests on both sides of the fence should be cleared under the second phase. Residents urge for a long-term solution to the problem. A big drainage system should be built on the side of the wildlife office behind the fences to prevent the entry of groups to drive away elephants, hunt animals or engage in other illegal activities. If the drain is constructed, elephants will not be able to come to this site by any means.
At the same time, those involved in illegal acts too will not be able to go to the other side of the forest. Agricultural lands can be protected in this manner.
The Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka celebrates Beethoven's 250th anniversary, organizing Pastoral, a symphony orchestra directed by British guest conductor Peter Crockford.
I've been to Sri Lanka 5 or 6 times in the last couple of years, but this is the first time I've been here to conduct the orchestra, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here, and I'm really thrilled to be playing with the orchestra because they're a marvellous group of musicians. And the best thing about them is that the age range is huge. There are some very, very young and very gifted young players with some very well-established players. So I'm highly delighted to be here working with them. So when we were trying to develop the program for this concert, we remembered that it's Beethoven's anniversary, the 250th anniversary of his birth this year. So we decided that it would be best if we found a piece of Beethoven to do. And we're doing one of the best known pieces, a piece that most people will have known from childhood. It's the Pastoral Symphony. And most people have known this from childhood because it was used in Disney's Fantasia. It was probably where I first heard it, actually. We have 2 other pieces in the program. Smetana's description of the river Moldau, Vltava, as it runs through the countryside, and also the Luigini ballet Egyptien, which is very rarely done. It is a ballet, so it is therefore also pictorial, so it's a highly pictorial concert. Very audience pleasing, and I hope as many people as possible come to support their young players, their older players, their families. Come and find out what classical music is about if you don't know it, and just have a good time with this.
The concert will be held on the 22nd of February at the Ladies College Auditorium, and tickets will be available at the Lionel Wendt box office.
Meanwhile, an incident in which the Ratugala community leader Udawalawe Atho had been attacked by a Pradeshya Sabha member for opposing illegal sand mining in the Rambakanoya has been reported.
Sand mining has been taking place along the Rambakanoya, which flows through Ratugala in Madulla Divisional Secretariat. It is alleged that politicians play a hand in these illegal activities which are taking place in violation of the permit laws. The Ratugala Vadda community leader has continuously opposed such acts. We are people who are born in the jungle. We love the jungle and we will protect it. See what has happened. Kumbuk trees have overturned as a result of the digging. However, it is officials who provide permits. There is no law for that. A former Bibile Pradeshya Sabha member is believed to have carried out the attack on the Ratugala Vadda community leader. It was a Pradeshya Sabha member named Sarath who attacked me. He has obtained the most number of mining permits along Rambakanoya. Recently, they had forcefully constructed a road through my house. I closed the road due to the damages that it is causing. He came and argued as to how I closed the road. He pushed me. I have written to the Prime Minister seeking to stop the destruction of the environment. The politician concerned has denied attacking the Vadda leader. The director of the Bibile Base Hospital said that the Vadda leader is being treated for high blood pressure. I am paying attention to the steps that are being undertaken by the government. We will take this matter to the global scale.
There are now 3 MPs of Indian origin in Prime Minister Boris Johnson's cabinet after it was reshuffled to include Rishi Sunak as Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Rishi Sunak, the son-in-law of Infosys co-founder Ramarao Narayanamurthy, replaced Pakistani Chancellor Sajid Javid as the Chancellor of the Exchequer of the United Kingdom, while Alok Sharma was appointed Business Secretary in the British Cabinet. According to media reports, the decision comes just a few weeks before Javid, who was only 8 months old in his job, was set to unveil the UK budget on the 11th of March, setting out the government's tax and spending plans. Rishi Sunak will now have to present the budget next month. Meanwhile, Alok Sharma, the former Secretary of State for International Development, has been elevated to the role of the Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. Sharma, aged 51, will also be President of the COP26, the big-ticket climate summit of the United Nations, which is due to be held in Glasgow in November this year. The third cabinet member is Priti Patel as the new Home Secretary. She was appointed by Johnson last July.
Shalinda Jansen of Gateway College, Colombo was crowned the best athlete at the 20th International Schools Athletics Championship.
Organized by Gateway College, Isaac 2020 spanned for 3 days at the Sugathadasa Stadium. The closing ceremony was held under the patronage of Minister Dinesh Gunawardena with a number of embellishments and breathtaking relays. Winning a total of 92 medals including 39 gold, Lyceum International School Vattala were crowned champions with Gateway College Colombo ending as runners-up. Sandun Kumaro of Lyceum International School Vattala was crowned the best male athlete as he broke the tournament record in the under-20 triple jump event. Shalinda Jansen of Gateway College Colombo, who won the 100 and 200 meter events with new tournament records, was awarded the best female athlete. Jansen also bagged the prestigious RIT Alus Challenge Trophy for the overall best athlete at the International Schools Athletics Championship.
And with that, wrap up news for tonight. Thank you very much for joining. Do take care and good night.